영원히 stay gold and never let go.
Hi, I wanted to do a, I guess a story time type video. I'm wearing my regular glasses. These are my newest glasses. They aren't the circular ones anymore. The circular ones I still wear time to time, especially if I want to take pictures because they don't have any of the glare. So I'll be kind of facing like this so there won't be too much glare. So hopefully it's not that big of an issue and it doesn't bother me. But this is a musical retrospective from discovering my own music tastes and how they've shaped my listening experience. So I've wanted to do a video like this for a while now, and I've sat down, wrote some notes on how I came to love and how I came to discover the type of music that I listen to on a daily basis. And it all starts back in elementary school. So my parents, both of them, they are really into more rock music. My dad really loved the Beatles, Grateful Dead, Rolling Stones, that type of ordeal, and they played that type of music for me growing up, and I don't really remember most of it, and I didn't really enjoy a lot of it as I have come to respect it now. Um, there's a lot more rock type music and rock band music that I do like more now that I've grown up a little bit more, but it's still not my favorite type of genre. So it starts in around fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade. Um, Me and my friend, we took these jazzercise classes from the local jazzercise studio. Like every Halloween and Valentine's Day, they would have like a little theme thing where we do some jazzercise, we do some crafts, we make a food. It'd just be a lot of fun. Um, and then they also used to have jazzercise. They started doing a jazzercise like after school kind of program, which I participated in, and I got introduced to a lot of pop music during those jazzercise experiences. And eventually, I asked the teacher one day what one of the songs was because I really liked it, and it was Rihanna's Pon de Replay, and it was also Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl. So those were like the two first real pop songs that I was like, I really like it. And I didn't really know what else to do from then. So for my birthday, I got a Kids Bop CD. I know Kids Bop, right? Like, the bane of everyone's existence. But that ended really quickly. It only lasted for about a month before I found the real thing of Holla Back Girl and realized that there was no it was shit. And you know what? It is what it is, girl. Um, my parents never had an issue with like the swear words in the music because my dad had a lot of road rage and he cussed a lot, and I was used to hearing all those words. My mom also had some tiny road rages here or there, but it wasn't as bad, and it was more rare to hear her drop the F word than it was my dad. So I was used to it. My sister has a potty mouth as well, so it is what it is. So they didn't care if the music said shit, fuck, bitch, whatever. So it was back in fifth grade, I believe, when I got the money to buy the Gwen Stefani Sweet Escape CD. And yeah, I was not really sure if that had the Holla Back Girl song on it or Rich Girl. But I had found Wind It Up and Sweet Escape on YouTube, and I liked those two songs. And at the time, that was like the CD that had come out for Gwen Stefani, so I bought it. And it was my first album that I like really liked, really bought. And then through Gwen Stefani, I found Fergie's Fergalicious, London Bridge, and Glamorous. And also around the same time, around the 1 or 2 years, Rihanna had her album Good Girl Gone Bad, and Umbrella was that shit, and so was Hate That I Love You. And then Avril Lavigne released The Best Damn Thing, and I loved me some Girlfriend. So after Gwen Stefani's Sweet Escape, I bought Fergie's album, The Duchess, Rihanna's Good Girl Gone Bad, and Avril Lavigne's the best damn thing. So it's basically YouTube and then iTunes sometimes, where I would find new music to listen to and generate it away from Disney-esque music and into more pop music. And in fourth grade for my birthday, I got the green iPod Nano as a birthday present. So it was like around there. And then also around that time, I kind of branched into more different genres of music. There's one time in particular on iTunes, I had gotten an iTunes gift card, and the recommendations and the homepage was featuring Mary J. Blige because she had come out with her album Growing Pains. So I checked it out because I was curious because I saw it everywhere, and even at Starbucks they was advertising Mary J. Blige's album, and so I was like, okay, cool. I see her a lot, so let me listen to what this new album is. I only listened to the most popular song because that was what I did at the time. I would see the bars on iTunes and be like, that's the most popular song, so it's obviously the best song. Bitch, that's a lie now. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. But Just Fine, I really liked it, so I bought it and put it on my iPod. So that was like my first non-pop song because she's an R&B artist. And then I also discovered some Mariah Carey due to Korean school. What? Korean school? Yeah. The drive to Korean school, I would be passed out asleep because every time I'm in a car and it's a long ride, I usually end up falling asleep. Still happens to this day. But on the way home, I would be awake, and my dad had bought the Sirius XM radio. So there's like 1,000 stations, and we'd go switch back and forth. He would listen to his rock, and then I would switch it to whatever I wanted to listen to. And I chose the R&B station just out of a whim once because we had listened to the hip hop, one of the hip hop stations once, and it was kind of nice. I remember they was playing that independent song, that INE, that one, you know. But then we switched it to the R&B one, and it started playing this song, and it had this really catchy piano part that was like, do 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 do, and it said it was Mariah Carey's Honey. So I was like, ooh, I like that. But it wasn't really until 2008 when she released E equals MC squared and Touch My Body was everywhere that I really started to pay more attention to Mariah Carey. And the library was too slow. There was a wait list long as hell for that E equals MC squared CD. So I asked for it for my birthday, and I got it. And then I also got the iTunes gift card, and I bought Butterfly and Charm Bracelet. I know Charm Bracelet now is really my least favorite Mariah Carey album. Yeah. And then over that summer, I got the Emancipation of Mimi. This is like 5th grade, middle school, probably like 5th grade or 6th grade. I can't really remember all the dates. And then around that time, this is now in middle school, my library had like this small biography section, and in it there was these like small books for different hip hop artists. I remember there was like a Jay-Z, Eminem, Ludacris, but I saw this one for this person named Missy Elliott. So I checked it out and I read it, and then I looked on YouTube and it linked me to Work It and All in My Grill, and I freaking loved All in My Grill. So I had to listen to more Missy Elliott in middle school. I did my 8th grade project in English class. We had to like choose a topic we really liked, and I did my 8th grade project on Missy Elliott. I brought in all the CDs, super duper fly, all the way up to the cookbook. And you know what? I bet they thought, what the fuck? This kid listened to Missy Elliott. You know what? It is what it is because someone did their report on Lil Wayne. Okay? They were more of a hood rat than I was. They were more ratchet. And then around the Missy Elliott phase, I started listening to more hip hop artists like Lil Kim, Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown, not so much as Lil Kim or Missy Elliott. And I also found me some Trina. And so Lil Kim, Trina, and Missy Elliott were my 3 faves out of the hip hops. And in middle school, I discovered more R&B artists like Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, LaToya, TLC. TLC was through my sister. That was the only one. Faith Evans, Fantasia, Brandy, Ashanti, Alicia Keys, Sierra, and then one of my faves, Monica. my library had a lot of CDs, and I would always look through the stuff and see which ones looked cool, and then bring them and listen to them, and found out they were really good. And then I also listened, discovered some more rappers, Ludacris and Jay Z, but I really liked the female stuff more. And middle school, that was really when I moved away from my pop roots and was mainly keeping up with Rihanna from like the initial music stage, like the Rated R. That was a freaking album, y'all. I remember when that whole thing happened with Chris Brown, I was like, oh my gosh, yikes. Because I had also been listening to a little bit of Chris Brown, Kiss Kiss with You. So I was like, ooh, damn. But yeah, so middle school was really about the R&B and a little bit of the hip hop. And then the beginning of the high school is when I started getting into K-pop, and then my music taste shifted once again. And in the first stages, I was listening to Shiny, Wonder Girls, Davichi, Big Bang, and 21. And then my sophomore year of high school, I really fell hard into K-pop with Girls' Generation, 2PM, Beast, Super Junior, Miss A, 4 Minute, Sistar, After School, Brown Eyed Girls, B1A4, and Secret, and UKISS. Those were like my groups. I loved it, and I really started to stop listening to R&B. I listened to it here and there because I did in middle school start buying albums and saving up my money to buy albums, and I had started going a collection. So like I would have more R&B albums than K-pop albums because I didn't start buying K-pop until high school. But I was really into the K-pop, and YouTube was a big friend because I always was looking on YouTube and seeing stuff. And then the last few years of high school, that was pretty much all K-pop. There would be a few exceptions, like I remember I did get the Nicki Minaj albums, but that was pretty much about it. Yeah. And then around the end of high school, I realized EXO and Infinite were like my favorite groups. So awesome. And then college came, and I was still a big K-pop fan. I was in the Korean class making friends with all the other K-pop bands. Some of these other salty bitches in that class were like, "Ew, you're only here because you like K-pop?" And I was like, bitch, who the fuck are you to be judging? You work at a sushi restaurant, and not even the good one of the chain. Uh. She was just a hater. She was a hater bitch. And then the other one, um, that was asking too many damn questions. Like, damn girl, she just taught it. You can't understand after she just taught it? Like, you don't need to ask a million questions right off the bat. You don't even process the information. But through college, I started gravitating, and not gravitating, I would say more revisiting older artists like my Mary J. Blige, my Monica, my Mariah Carey, Mitzi. Um, but I also found myself gravitating to some new pop music, and I guess it would be like the Tumblr music. It was like Troye Sivan, Halsey, Carly Rae Jepsen, Melanie Martinez, that type of shit. Ariana Grande. It was like the pop. I got back into pop some more. Um, and it was like, okay, well, because I liked K-pop, but some of it was like not really my steez, and I was really gravitating more towards English music again. But now, present day, I think I listen to like a healthy mix. I listen to a lot of R&B and hip hop still. I love my ratchet bops, and I love my R&B bops. I love my pop bops. I try to keep up with my favorite artists, see what they're doing. But as I've realized, the older some of these artists get, the less and less they release new music. Missy Elliott, that block party bullshit was supposed to come out, what, 10 years ago? 11? Uh-huh. Mainly, the main artist that I keep up with nowadays is like K-pop, but I still make sure I know when my faves is coming out with music. Troye Sivan, Ariana Grande, August, baby. And then, also, yeah, so I also listen to the pop still. But I really walked away from my middle school days, and what kind of also helped shape my K-pop interests was a lot of what came about from listening to the R&B and the hip hop. It taught me really to appreciate the vocals. R&B was so vocally driven with amazing high notes and amazing long notes. Like Mariah Carey, she would just hold these long notes and then she would whistle up into that register. Mary J. Blige would just belt her heart out in the song. Monica, Alicia Keys, Jennifer Hudson, vocals. Like, it really taught me to appreciate a good vocals, and I love a good vocals. And especially in K-pop, I kind of try to look for the good vocals, and I love it when they start doing the vocal techniques. It sounds really cool to me. And as I've noticed, and I think anyone that knows me noticed that in K-pop, while I do love the cutesy girl groups and stuff, I also really love the R&B and hip hop inspired songs. Like EXO does a lot of R&B type songs, as well as BTS with the R&B hip hop sort of, or they used to, kind of still do, not really. And then one thing I noticed with pop music, especially in the later years when I started getting really out of it, because it all started sounding the same with the bump, 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 bump beat. I really liked the more complex beats, like the, or stuff like that, like more complex. And that also, I noticed, was very prevalent in a lot of hip hop music. They would like to make really cool beats, and I love the cool beats. So, while K-pop songs, for the most part, are very, there's sometimes when the beat gets a little funky, and I'm like, hey, that's my shit. That's my shit. Like, yes. So that has basically been like the whole story, the journey, the saga of my music tastes. I was listening to a lot of very mature music that I might not have really understood fully, completely back in middle school. But hey, that was the type of shit that I gravitated to. The rest of my family was like, they didn't really get it. They didn't really listen to that stuff. They all really loved the rock, the Beatles, the stuff like that. But my mom, she has definitely grown to appreciate all the R&B. She loves the good vocals too because of me. My dad also grew to appreciate it. He knew about some of the hip hop artists while I was discovering them. Like he knew about the Snoop and the Eminem and the Jay. And they would also, for like birthdays, Christmas, they would buy CDs for me because that's pretty much all I asked for. They would listen to it, even with all the language. Trina, look back at me. Google that song if you want a good laugh. Lil Kim, listen to some of her lyrics. They is raunchy, raunchy boots. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this video with some of my favorite albums that have like shaped my musical experience and journey, starting with the R&B ladies. So Mary J. Blige, The Breakthrough, that is probably one of my all-time favorite albums ever. I love that one. And then Mariah Carey's The Emancipation of Mimi is another one of my top faves. Monica, The Makings of Me, and her album Still Standing. I love those two albums a lot. Oh, if you want some song recommendations in case you don't listen to them, but you might have, or you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure my friends, for the most part, have heard these albums, but in case you haven't and you're kind of curious, you know, Mary J. Blige, Be Without You, Mariah Carey, We Belong Together, Mariah Carey, on the Emancipation of Mimi, Mine Again. That's a really beautiful song. Monica, Every Time the Beat Drop, A Dozen Roses, Raw, that's all in the makings of me. Still Standing, Love All Over Me, Everything to Me, I think that's the name of the song. Once in a Lifetime, that's my favorite song on the Monica Still Standing album. It's a gorgeous song. Yeah, Everything to Me, that was the other main single from that. And then Fantasia, Back to Me, that's another amazing album, and I love like all the songs on it. Bittersweet was the main single. Collard Greens and Cornbread, Who's Been Loving You, Man of the House, Alicia Keys, The Diary of Alicia Keys, If I Ain't Got You, You Don't Know My Name, Karma, ooh. And then she's not as vocally gifted as the rest, you know. Ciara, I do love me some Ciara though, because she is definitely incorporates a lot of hip hop beats in her older music. Ciara's The Evolution is a great album. Can't Leave Him Alone, Get Up, Like a Boy, Promise. Y'all better get into that if you don't know anything about that. Again, if you're like my friends that I talk to on a daily basis through Google Hangouts and stuff, you obviously have heard these songs because we like that. Jennifer Hudson, great. Listen to her cover of And I'm Telling You I'm Not Going Anywhere. Amazing. Also, Spotlight, If This Isn't Love, truly awesome. Songs right there. The song is And I'm Telling You I'm Not Going. Don't add the anywhere. But you could, I guess. LaToya, Lady Love. LaToya's my favorite Destiny's Child member. That's just me. She got a little more ratchet in the songs. But She Ain't Got, Not Anymore, Regret, bops. And then for K-pop, EXO, EXO, Flawless, solid albums. Infinite's Paradise, 17, Love and Letter. I love me some 17. Y'all know this. They were one of the groups I discovered kind of later on because they debuted in 2015. That was back when I was in college, y'all. Second year. Yeah. IU Last Fantasy and IU's Modern Times. Those came out while I was still in high school. Yes. Great albums. She definitely brings the vocals. The good vocals. So does EXO and Infinite and 17. You know, they all do. But yeah, so those are some of my favorites. And obviously the K-pop ones, I'm pretty sure you've heard those because like this is a K-pop related channel. So I'm not going to tell you the good songs because I think we already know. So this video is long enough and I just wanted to share my musical experience, take a little walk down memory lane, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!